If you've been feeling anxious lately, I understand. It's draining, it sucks, but we can start to take small steps now that will lower it over time. And in this video, I'm going to be showing you one of the strategies that can help. First up, anxiety isn't just in your head, it's in your body too. When you're anxious, your heart might start racing, you might start sweating. That's your body going into flight or fight mode. It thinks you're in danger even if you're just standing in Tesco. And here's the thing, once you can understand what's happening and identify it as anxiety, it makes things a lot less scary. Instead of thinking, oh no, what is my body doing? Why is my heart racing this fast? You can tell yourself like, oh, there's my anxiety showing up. It's overreacting a bit, but I'm safe. And that change in perspective is huge, especially if you can do it mid-anxiety attack. So we're all aware of the voices in our heads that tells us, you can't handle this, or you're going to mess up. And we can tackle this by thinking of our minds as having three voices. So we've got the critic, which is super harsh. That's the one that's always finding the small mistakes. We've got the child who's scared and overwhelmed and just wants to hide in the corner. Then we've got the coach, which is supportive, realistic, and honest, but kind. And once we can identify these voices when they're happening, we can start tuning out the child and the critic and start tapping more into the coach. So the next time your anxiety shows up, your coach might tell you that, yes, this feels uncomfortable, but you've handled worse and you've got this. Right, I know this one seems brutal, but here's the thing. Avoiding your anxiety makes it grow. It tells your brain that this thing is scary. You are right to run or avoid. We face it gradually and slowly. For myself, phone calls used to freak me out. If I had to make a phone call or receive one, my heart would start racing and I would just be like, fuck, what's going on here? Why am I reacting this way? And I avoided phone calls as much as I could. And one way of getting used to that would have been texting people first, and then leaving a voicemail, and then phoning a friend, and then working my way up to phoning the dentist, etc. And each step would teach your brain that, oh, I can do this. We need to remember that avoiding anxiety isn't managing it, right? Avoiding avoidance is how we grow. After you've faced something that made you anxious, don't just move on. Pause, think about it, write it down. What happened? What were the thoughts that were running through your head beforehand, and how did it go? And this isn't about journaling for the sake of it. It's about building up a collection of evidence. Proof that you're stronger than your fears make you believe, right? And over time, you start to realise that, hey, I'm not rubbish at X. I'm making progress. I'm moving in the right direction. And sometimes it's hard to recognise that when we store it all in our heads. And finally, and probably the most important step, is to keep taking action. Anxiety hates momentum, and like we've spoke about, it feeds on overthinking and avoidance. So if you're stuck in your head, move your body, talk about it, do the thing, like take one step in the right direction, even if it's tiny, even if your heart's racing, because every time you act despite your anxiety, you're proving to yourself and your brain that you can withstand difficulty, that you can feel these uncomfortable feelings and act anyway. So, you can't see me, but thank you for watching. I just wanted to quickly say that I offer a free 10-day workshop thing for people with social anxiety. If that sounds interesting, I'll have the link in the description, and yeah, thanks for watching.